Insert really cool catchphrase here. Yay! Hi, this is Christal from my drum school. Over the past week, I've been taking a break from teaching to travel all the way over to Sacramento, California in the United States in order to participate in Mike Johnston's Advanced Drum Camp. I first heard about Mike many years ago as a teenager when I was searching on YouTube for lessons on drumming and how to get better at playing the drums. So it was very surreal that thanks to my drum school, I finally got the opportunity to attend one of his camps. Here's how the week went. I've been working at MDS as a full-time staff for over 5 years now, and I actually started teaching part-time almost 9 years ago. So it's going to be a refreshing change of perspective being a student again. I'm also here with a mini entourage, so yes, say hi.
Hey, hi.
Hi. And time to get to the departure gates, I guess. Let's hope immigration doesn't take forever. This is the room where I'm staying in, right behind me. It's pretty interesting. Well, that's low light for you guys. I think if we go to the roof now, we might be able to see a bit of a sunrise. Let's go. Okay, so let's see what we got up here. It's actually drizzling slightly now, and everyone else is sleeping downstairs. I have pretty much just woken up. Oh, cat's out here. Hey there. Hey there, buddy. You want to go back in? No? And anyway, this is what we have. Oh, ooh, seagull. See that? Really far away. Off Oakland and far away. That should be the San Francisco skyline. So yeah, I guess that was the rather unremarkable Saturday morning Oakland, San Francisco sunrise. Nothing much going on, it's just a really muggy Saturday morning. I think I'll just head indoors and comb my hair or something. This is Harley. Harley, look at the camera. This is Ninja. Say hi, Ninja. Yep. Day 2 of my San Francisco adventure, and I've been staying here at this Airbnb in Oakland for last night, and I'll be staying one more night tomorrow before heading off to Sacramento in the morning. It's a really nice cozy little place, and there are also 7 cats here. Today's plan will be to head down to San Francisco, just wander around, check out the views, and try and get a look at CorgiCon, which is happening at a beach somewhere. There should be a couple hundred little doggies running about. I wouldn't call myself a dog person. If I had to choose, I would say I was a cat person. But here's the thing, Daniel really likes corgis. We can just be walking along and he will absolutely freeze and start freaking out over a corgi somewhere for maybe 5 seconds maximum. It's not that bad. So yeah, this is for you, Daniel. She likes you better than her hole.
At least. Hello, sweetie. You're so soft. Aww. She feels like a cat.
Right? Usually dogs are a bit coarser. But
No, she's so
fluffy. Oh my goodness.
okay, I'm not sure if that was the most fruitful day, but we went out, we saw corgis, we walked around the whole Mission District, I think twice. Probably, I don't know how many hours I walked. Definitely a lot of miles. That was the exercise done for today. And now I'm walking from Fruitvale back to the house. Not sure why I'm doing this. Whoa. Okay, so now this I have to capture. Basically, I have not blown a dandelion for maybe 25 years. That was half a dandelion. I guess it still counts. Hey guys, I'm finally back home after day 2 of wandering around pretty much all over San Francisco. Skipping most of the touristy parts, but met a lot of dogs and walked a lot. That's about it for the first section of my trip. Next stop is going to be Sacramento and drum camp. We are here at the Amtrak station, I think, waiting for the train, and somebody is not happy somewhere. I have no idea if I'm in the right place, but I got 40 minutes to wait, and we will find out. It's also pretty cool this Sunday morning. So this morning I took the Amtrak over to Sacramento and I got to meet up with Mike Horn, who was the pastor at my church when I was growing up in Fresno. So it's really coincidental that he's here in Folsom, and he brought me out to Jesus Culture Sacramento to attend their Sunday service. So I still got to attend church this week. And now I'm here at Lake Natoma Inn and ready to start drum camp pretty soon. Well, what do you know? Okay. And we're here. Alright, I seem to have got the whole room to myself, which I am not complaining about at all. Not sure what happened to whoever was supposed to be my roommate, but yeah, space, baby. Let's see. Really dimly lit and empty fridge. Cool. I have about 3 hours to kill before the orientation tonight, so time to take a nap. Hey, there's a mirror here. Cool. Wow, nice sky. Okay, the jet lag is hitting me pretty hard because I just knocked out for the past hour and a half or something like that. And like every fiber of my body is telling me to go back to sleep, but I need to head downstairs, so let's go. welcome to day 1 of drum camp. Before we start, let's check out this goodie bag from yesterday. Texture coated snare hit. This cool leather bound notebook with a pen. It says practice. Drum camp t-shirt. Mike's signature stick. Oh, more of these practice tips. Yep, got some of these from my drum school before. Ooh. Mikeslessons water bottle, 2019 drum camp. Oh, cool. I have jingly things now. It's called a cymbal bacon. Okay.
3 and up. We'll rush that triplet. 3 and up. And a cacophony of pens.
Now then, being put in that situation, I think it feels great because
Awesome.
yeah, you know, it's just so tiring
Yeah.
from the other perspective the whole time. So.
Yeah, and I know what it's like to play so much drums and then a year later realize you haven't practiced a minute because you've only been teaching other people how to do what you do.
And we've come to the end of day 1 of drum camp. So far, the day has been great. I think the best part is really the camaraderie between all the different drummers who are here from different parts of America, from across the world. We have a guy from Taiwan, from Wales, from Canada, various parts of the United States. And everyone is so supportive of each other. Everyone has their own different styles. Great thing about how Mike runs the camp is he's tailoring it, as he puts it, 8 different camps, one for every single camper who's involved. Right from the beginning, he's actually trying to figure out where each of us is at in our own drumming journey and trying to figure out throughout the day how he can get us to the next level. So the very first thing we did was to go out in Folsom, get a cup of coffee, and just tell him what was one area that we felt that we wanted to work on. In a very general sense, I guess, to just be able to say what I want to say through the instrument. Then when we got back, we watched a couple videos, different styles of music, and we rated each song from 1 to 10 based not on how much we liked the music, but how much we want it to be there to try and identify our own drumming goals and to identify who we want it to be as drummers. Because a lot of times, and I speak for myself, we get so caught up in learning things just for the sake of becoming better, and we don't really think of what kind of musician we want to be individually. And then after that, he went right down to the basics, to fundamentals, put us through a bunch of technical exercises. He's just trying to get us to get out of our comfort zone, to try things that will break us, in the sense of being forced to do something that you're uncomfortable with doing, just so that you can see that, wow, this is something that I'm really not good at, and that's something that I can get better at, because I know how to get there. I know what the concept is, and I just need to take it to the next level. So that was the main concept that was being driven home today. And that's really something I can understand, something that I've also been communicating to my students. And it was such a great experience to be on the receiving end of that, to be forced into situations that are stressful, that are uncomfortable, because that's where you really see your weak spots. And it's when you see your weak spots that you can see what you actually want to improve on, and then you can go work on it. At the end of the day, after dinner, we also have these jam times where we each play a song of our choice and just kind of let off steam. But it's also a little bit challenging to choose a song that you're going to be confident playing in front of an audience and you're not going to mess up too much. So we'll see how that goes for the rest of the week. And in the evenings, actually starting from day 0, the night before the camp, all the campers kind of hang out behind the hotel in this place where there's a fire pit, and we just chat and exchange stories about life. And that's definitely one of the cool parts of the camp, getting to interact with all these people. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's day 2 of camp, and I'm doing a little bit of exploring before lessons start. There seems to be a bit of a trail here. I'm not sure where it goes. And Unfortunately, dead end.
Well, that be gone.
Physically outsmart the situation. Do not muscle this out.
Teacher too, it's cool to see you getting to be the focus instead of your students being the focus, and then you're kind of the afterthought. Now you're the focus, and it's cool. Like, I'm glad you're having this week for yourself.
We're now in the morning of day 3 of camp. That means we're almost at the halfway point, and I'm just a little bit sad that it's going to be over pretty soon. During day 2, we started the day off with an exercise on the Yamaha e-drums, just seeing if we could play in time. Then we went on to do a bit of some technical exercises on the practice kits, playing some linear grooves, coming up with some new ideas, and having an extension of what we already did yesterday. We also did a bit of work on developing creativity by using repeated anchor points during a solo. Every day of camp there's also studio time where we play tracks. Let's turn this off. Let's just wait for this thing to stop blowing air at my legs. Thank you. Each day of camp we have studio time where we take turns tracking to a drumless track in different genres, and we also have practice time allocated for us to work on concepts. And the great thing about how Mike does practice time is he makes us all individually choose one thing to work on so we don't get distracted or lose focus, and then after that everyone presents the results of their practice. And we're not trying to see who's the best or whether it's really good, but if you've progressed from before the practice session to after the practice session, that's the goal achieved. It's really cool to see during the studio sessions how each individual drummer produces the different sound on the same drum set. And it's also great to see that different people have different strengths and weaknesses, and everyone's playing style just lends itself to a different sound and a different sense of musicality on the drum set, especially when you're playing the exact same kit, the exact same cymbals, same mic setup, and the exact same track. So we really get to see 8 different takes of the same thing, and it's just very cool to see everyone's individuality that way. Apparently we're going to be doing some new content today, so time to get ready for day 3. Like I finally found the river. It's right behind me, and there's a lot of people wandering around this place. Alright, we might just have one more chance at some dandelions because there we go. Right, I think that's enough of feeding the mosquitoes for one morning. It's time to get back to the studio to get some practice in before the day starts.
Based on, well, 1,000 years of history.
That was off stage. Okay, no. You'll get to go. We have to ruin it. Failed pretty bad.
My left hand was so tired after the rim knocks I couldn't do anything.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, whoa.
It's hard to even hold to grip that long. Little lesson. Yeah, man. Order some camp candles. Every time you practice light one of those, you'll be like, I don't know how to make camp candles.
Mike's Camp Candles.
It's a new business, guys.
Yeah, man.
Little side gig.
Essential oil.
It's a side hustle.
Right, so here we are on the morning of day 4. Yesterday was pretty fun because we got to go out and explore the lake, and we found a nice bridge to practice on. Yesterday's inspirational concept was about how a drummer doesn't need to be the most technical in the world in order to be a really inspiring figure. So it did put into context some of the things that we're trying to achieve. Not that being technical is better than being inspirational, but for us as musicians to decide for ourselves who the kind of person we want to be is and who the kind of musician we want to be is. Drumming wise, we learned some new concepts, and we also did a bit of soloing within restrictions. We also had our studio tracking session, which yesterday was absolutely killer for most of us, myself included. Doing a really fast up-tempo bossa nova Latin stuff is one of my weaknesses. That did not go well, but it's definitely something I can work on. In the evening, a couple of the campers headed out to check out the local music scene in Sacramento. We managed to catch a live band for a couple sets, and I sat in for one of the songs, which was pretty fun. Anyway, it's probably time to get going. Let's see if we can get some practice in before the day starts too.
And just getting used to that pulse with my leg and my hand. Fives are how we stretch things out, man. They go over the beat line. The problem with the threes is it goes under the beat line. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1,
Well, all good things must come to an end, and we are here at day 5, the very last day of camp. Yesterday was a pretty fun day. We started off the morning going down to the bridge again and got some practice in. It's really fun to practice with a bunch of drummers who know what they're doing, and there's just something that can't replace that feeling of when you get it and you all play together and being able to help each other. Throughout the day, we learned more about odd groupings in linear drumming, as well as a bit more about the history of how gospel drumming really came to be, and the part the internet and even YouTube had in popularizing that. For day 5, we'll be heading out to do a photo shoot, and you know what? I give up. I'm getting a haircut when I get back. But I didn't bring anything to fix this with, so it's going to be interesting. Never mind, I can be the scraggly, weird rock chick. I guess that works. Right, time to get breakfast.
New letters with the Roman alphabet, so a CH is not.
Oh my goodness.
But I put it in rice and it worked after that.
It's about it. That's her jam.
Whoa.
It was a minor contact yesterday on Chloe.
Why are you such a weirdo, huh?
She brushed up
How
against
did you
you.
become
Yeah,
so
pretty
weird?
much. Let sing
Just a
blow.
little weirdo.
No. I just have to tune to get us where we're headed.
Where are you headed?
To recording land. After lunch.
Hello. Let's say hi to a camera.
Yeah. Sam, it's not your fault, man.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's much busier than
Oh,
the
these
night
guys are
before, right?
crazy.
By 5, Ludwig Black Beauty. Drumming there. Guys have a job to do.
Yeah.
Just as a visionary.
Yeah.
Bad human.
When did that come out?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's on.
yeah.
It's been on for a while.
yeah.
In Taiwan, we can only turn on the auto on highway.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Only on
Okay, get this. Mike Johnson has done a total of 93 camps to date. That's 7 short of 100 drum camps. But that also means this one is over. It's been a really great experience here out at Lake Natoma Inn and Mike's facilities for 5 days. I really enjoy hearing the way that he teaches and applies different concepts, as well as how he makes it so individual for everyone who's attending the camp. And in his own words, it's a life camp, not a drum camp. So one of the best parts was how we really got 8 different people from different cultures all over the world and got them to really bond over drumming. We had so much fun going out, hanging out, just talking to each other. It was actually very interesting being here in America because there's so many drummers that actually live here, play here, grew up here. Mike was telling us about how he hung out here with Benny Greb in his very same facility 10 years ago. And it's very surreal to be in the same place that all these legends have been, guys that we only hear about on YouTube or see in videos, read about in books. I like the way how Mike gives a musical application to all the ideas that he teaches, and he gave us a lot of ideas about different bands to listen to. One of the big takeaways I have from this is to go back and listen to more kinds of music and to really expand my musical horizons, to listen to different drummers and hear the different things they bring to their music based on who they are. The entire camp was sort of structured around Mike bringing us through his own practice session. The main goal of everything he was doing was just to inspire us to practice and progress and get better at our art, get better at doing the things we love, and just to know what we want to do with it.
What?
The other cool thing about this camp was getting to challenge myself in front of other people to not be afraid in front of other people, not be afraid to make mistakes in front of other people, to talk like a lunatic to myself in front of a camera in front of other people. Those are things I've always been very insecure, a little bit too paranoid about sometimes. And personally, it was a great space to be able to be open. Mike has done a great job in creating such a safe environment for all the campers to interact. Although it's Mike Johnston's drum camp, definitely the best part was the 7 other people from all over the world that I got to interact with. Whether it was learning different things about different cultures over them, just talking over breakfast, having a great time, getting to hear about how different ones practice drums on their own back home, the different contexts that they play, that they apply their drums in. Interestingly, we're the first entirely new batch of campers since the very first year that Mike started doing these drum camps. On the very last day of camp, everyone had the time to do a thank you speech in front of everyone else after getting some constructive criticism from Mike. But it was such a beautiful moment where these 8 people who had never seen each other before this past Sunday were just able to be so open and vulnerable with each other. So I want to say a big thank you to my drum school for letting me have the opportunity to come here. It's definitely been a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I've always wanted to attend a drum camp just to see how it is and to be able to do it in this beautiful place and be at such an amazing camp with these wonderful people with some of the best synergy that I could have imagined has been like a dream come true. That's really cheesy. I'm definitely very inspired to go back and work on my own practice as well as think of how to structure my own teaching to help students. And I just hope that we can continue to motivate both our students and educators to want to improve themselves, not only as better drummers, but better human beings. Mike is also going to be coming to Singapore later in the year, so stay tuned. And once again, thank you, my drum school, for allowing me to have this career where I can do the things that I love, to meet different people, and inspire you guys all to be better drummers as well. Okay, I just finished filming the most awkward thank you speech ever. I have no idea if anything I said makes sense, and there were tons of people wandering around behind me. But I think from the beginning to end of this entire business, I've definitely grown in confidence with speaking to a camera, looking like an idiot in front of absolutely nobody, because probably no one really cares about this strange person mumbling to herself while looking at a camera, but also looking at some ducks and wondering if this wind noise is going to be really horrible. But you know, progress is progress. I'll take that. It's been a fun couple days. I am not really looking forward to getting back to real life, but that happens. We'll deal with it as it comes. I will now be heading off to try and meet one of my internet buddies who also happens to stay in Folsom and navigate the public transport system. We'll see how that goes.
I don't let you go through right now. And we'll say that
Right, goodbye you guys. Time to go.
My little circle thing, and it's when I'm just goofing around and I'm just like, fine.
Alright guys, I am finally back in sunny Singapore, basking in the humidity. It's been a long 20-hour or more journey, not including waiting time, so I've had some time to digest and let the experience of the week sink in a little bit. This has actually been my first solo trip to date on my own, traveling to a foreign country and traveling from city to city on my own. So it's been quite a good confidence builder, and that's something I wasn't really expecting. I have also not taken an entire week out of my life before to just pause, from the routines of everyday life and immerse myself in drumming and music, it has been quite a good reset for the soul. Interestingly, I seem to have developed a better appreciation for texture and timing while listening to music as well. I'm not sure why that's the case. Maybe it's just that focused attention over the span of a couple days, or maybe it's hearing different people play and being able to appreciate their different feel on the instrument. Another thing I definitely am taking away from this camp is the importance of being able to hear and sing musical phrases, or rather rhythmic phrases, in your mind before actually being able to express them. It's something I've always known but not actually paid too much attention to. Another key idea is the whole concept of focusing on the source rather than just the final product. Instead of just appreciating a song or a band or a drummer, think about who were the people that this guy or girl listened to while they were growing up, and what are the influences that spoke into their lives and their development as a musician, and to go back and look at that source. Again, these are things that I was aware of, but I just never took the time to put effort into. In terms of notes, it could be seen like, what is the concept behind the pattern rather than just the actual pattern itself. So this is something that I hope to also apply in my teaching. While I teach my students, I would hope to be able to inspire them to look for the patterns and the concepts behind the end product rather than just learning the fill or the pattern in itself, because that's the idea that's going to allow them to speak as themselves as a musician and a drummer. Throughout this week, I've also been challenged to perform in front of an audience, since every evening we had our nightly sheds where everyone took turns performing to both the camera, all of us who were there, as well as sometimes a live audience from Mike's lessons. I've also been inspired by Mike's personal practice and dedication to creating that deliberate practice despite his busy schedule. The camp has definitely highlighted weaknesses that I want to work on, and I hope that through working on those things myself deliberately, I'll be able to inspire my own students to practice as well. Now I have this fancy practice journal to use too, so I might get back into the pen and paper mode of things. I've done that before and it was good, but dedication is tough, guys. Better get started.